Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture series on basic electronics. Today we are dealing with module number 2, lecture number 70. So in the previous lecture we have learnt about the introduction to SCR. SCR is a silicon controlled rectifier and we will be having the rectification application of a diode coming into picture. That means we will be using this SCR as a switch in the circuits wherever we want a portion of the voltage waveform or a current waveform to be removed from the output waveform, or it should not exist in the output. So we have also seen the construction of it and the basic working of the SCR, and we have seen that SCR will be having three terminals: anode, cathode and a gate. And what happens is after application of anode and cathode voltage, the SCR will not be turned on. To turn on your SCR you need a gate voltage to be applied. So once you apply the voltage between the gate and cathode of the SCR, your circuit builds up a small current that is called as gate current. When the gate current is applied and you will be getting the gate voltage applied to the SCR, then once we will be calculating what is the minimum value of gate current, and then that will be applied to the SCR, and after that only your SCR will be turned on. So the SCR turns on after the application of the gate current. And we have also seen the three junctions of a SCR and how it will be operating, and we have seen the application as well as we have seen the advantages of SCR. So today we will be studying about the two transistor model, its characteristics as well as the phase application of SCR. So this is how actually the SCR works. Okay, have a look at. Okay, initially the gate voltage is applied. Once the gate voltage is applied, the base of this transistor, it saturates and it will generate a collector current. So the collector current what is flowing is the base current of this transistor. So it is because of the anode current. So once you make your SCR in the on condition, the current flows from anode to cathode. Okay, so the path is anode to this and here and here. So when this shows here a 5, okay, when this shows here a 5, you will be having the current flowing through cathode. So this is how the anode to cathode current flows in a SCR. So this is a two transistor model. Two transistor model is simple, nothing to worry. Here we know that this is a junction diagram or a construction diagram where we have P, NP and then N. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to split these junctions. So split in such a way that this three, okay, these three will form one PNP junction and these three will form one more NPN junction. Getting it? So PNP transistor and NPN transistor. That is what is done here. This N and then P layer. Okay, these two, N layer and a P layer, whatever we have, these two are split into two. This is N layer and this is N layer. Similarly, this is P layer and this is P layer. Right? So what we can do is PNP region, this forms one transistor, NPN region, this forms another transistor. So we will be having a PNP and then NPN, right? So then you just look at this particular terminal. So this is applied to the P terminal. P terminal is the collector of the PNP transistor and it is the base of this transistor. So to have a look at, we will be connecting this gate terminal to the collector of the transistor 1 and the base of the transistor 2. Correct? So then we have here this N layer. The N layer is the base of this transistor 1 and the collector of the transistor 2. So the base and the collector of transistor 1 and transistor 2 will be shorted. So what happens is, this is the gate current what is going into the base of the transistor, and the current anode will be IA. So this is anode current. If I apply the KVL or KCL, sorry, KCL is Kirchhoff's current law. The current which is leaving the circuit and current which is entering the circuit, that is, the two are equal. So the current what is leaving the circuit is IK, and the current what is entering into the circuit is, this is IG and this is IA. So I'll be writing it as IA plus IG, right? So we have two transistors, and this is called as a two transistor model of SCR. This is called as the two transistors which are separated, and then they will be operating in a similar way that your SCR can be working. So the working of this one is, anode current what is flowing here, this is the emitter current of the transistor T1. The same current, emitter current, flows through the terminal. The gate current is applied here. Then IA through the base of the transistor, this IG applied, it makes the current this is saturated. So because of which the collector current is active, and you will be getting the collector current, and then you will be having a IK which is equal to IA plus IG. Entonces, of SCR is composed of PNP and NPN transistor. It is clear that the collector of each transistor is coupled to the base of the other, as we have seen. The working of the SCR can be easily explained from its two transistor model circuit with the supply voltage V and the load resistance. This will be connected. When there is no supply voltage V to the gate of the SCR, there is no base current to the transistor T2. Therefore, no current flows in the collector of T2, hence that of T1. Okay. So when I have V, or the supply voltage is equal to 0, the SCR is said to be in the or open state. When the gate voltage is given, a small gate current will flow through the base of the transistor T2, which means its collector current will increase. The collector current T2 is the base current of T1. So base current of the T1 means the collector current of T1 also increases, because this current will drive the transistor T1 into saturation. Okay. Once the collector current across the T1 increases, you will be having the collector current of T1 is the base current of T2. So this is a cumulative action, and you will be getting increase in the current in the one transistor that causes increase in the current in the other transistor. As a result, both the transistors will be driven into saturation, and a heavy current flows through the load. So load is connected to the SCR. So the current will be flowing actually from the anode to the cathode terminal of the SCR. So after we have learned what is the two transistor model, this is the VI characteristics. Okay, I'm going to talk now about the forward voltage voltage, reverse breakdown voltage, reverse blocking state, forward bias, and the reverse bias. So initially what happens is, you have applied your input voltage VK, and this is the voltage between the anode to cathode, plus VAK actually. So here what happens is, whenever I apply the current, initially, until and unless I apply the gate current, the SCR will not be. So it will be having this current of some milliamperes, and it goes on. Once I don't apply the gate voltage at that time, because of the avalanche breakdown, what happens at the junction J2, the SCR gets breakdown at this particular voltage, breakover voltage, we call it as VBR, or this is also called as a knee voltage also. Okay. So assume that you are not applying any gate voltage for a gate, because of which it takes this amount of time, this much voltage, for SCR to be forward biased. Okay, once SCR forward biases, the across the SCR will be equal to its knee voltage, that is 0.7. So if the voltage across that will be struck at this particular point and it will increase, right? So then what happens? I have not applied the gate voltage, then this will be my breakdown voltage. If I apply the gate current, then what happens is you are making the junction J2 of the transistor forward bias, because of which the current flows through anode to cathode in a shorter duration. So when I do that, this will be my breakdown voltage. You need to be noting down what is the gate current for which it has got triggered and this breakdown voltage also. After it goes breakdown, it will be stuck at 0.7, which is the breakover voltage of the PN junction, and after that the current is going to increment. And the current goes on incrementing. Even at that particular time, if I remove the gate voltage or a gate current, it is not going to affect your SCR. So gate loses its control over the SCR, and after that the gate can be removed. If you want to turn off, then you need to be removing the voltage applied across anode and cathode, then it will be turned off. I reverse the voltages across anode and cathode. Say anode is applied with a negative terminal and cathode is applied with a positive terminal. At that time, all reverse leakage current flows, and until a reverse knee appears, okay, until this VBR appears, it will be in a reverse blocking mode only. After this, the breakdown happens and you will be getting this reverse breakdown voltage happening. So this is what is reverse breakdown voltage. So here there is, it is called as a gate current, and one more that is called as latching current, and then one is called as holding current. Okay, so all these currents should be stopped. Now we will look at what is this forward blocking state, forward conducting state, and then reverse blocking state. Okay, the working or modes of operation of SCR. So there are three modes. One is called forward blocking mode, forward conduction mode, and then we have reverse blocking mode. Forward blocking mode means where until and unless SCR is turned on, and SCR is turned on, this is conduction mode. When it is operated in reverse bias direction, then it is called as reverse blocking. In the forward blocking mode, what happens is in this mode of operation, this SCR is connected in such a way that anode terminal is made positive with respect to cathode and gate terminal is kept open. In this state, junction J1 and J3 are forward biased, J2 is reverse biased. Due to this, a small leakage current flows through the SCR as we have seen in the characteristics. Until the voltage applied across the SCR is more than the breakover voltage of it, SCR offers a very high resistance to the current flow. Therefore, the SCR acts as an open switch in the forward blocking mode. So, the whatever is flowing here is because of the minority carriers. So because of which the small amount of current flows, it will be of the order of milliamps. Okay, that is what is shown in the VI characteristics. So next in the forward conduction mode. In this mode, SCR or thyristor comes into conduction mode from blocking mode. It can be done in two ways, either by applying positive pulse across the gate terminal or by increasing the forward voltage. The two we have seen in the characteristics beyond the breakover voltage of the SCR. So once any of these methods is been applied, the avalanche breakdown happens at junction J2. When this happens, the SCR turns into conduction mode and acts as a closed switch. Thereby, the current flow starts flowing from anode to cathode. So in the reverse blocking mode, what happens? In this mode, the cathode is made positive with respect to the anode, and junctions J1 and junction J3 are reverse biased. J2 is forward biased. The reverse voltage drives the SCR into reverse blocking region, results to a flow of small leakage current through it and acts as the open switch. And again, this happens till the voltage which is reverse breakover voltage. Once the reverse breakover voltage appears, at that time the avalanche breakdown happens and you will be getting a large amount of reverse current flowing in the device. Okay, so this is again a we have seen. So this is what is forward blocking state, this is forward conducting state, and this is reverse blocking state. Here to here it will be your forward blocking state because the voltage is applied between anode and cathode and gate voltage is not applied, so it is still in the minority carriers, so it will be flowing. And after it appears to your breakover voltage or your gate current, then the current starts flowing in the between the anode and cathode, so it will be the forward conducting mode. Once it is reversed, reverse your voltage across the anode and cathode, you will be having the reverse blocking state till here. And once the reverse breakdown voltage or VBR appears, you will be getting this current through the CR. Okay. So, important points about the SCR, that is, when the anode is positive with respect to cathode, the curve between V and I is called as forward characteristics. In figure 1, the OABC, that is what we have seen in the thing, is the characteristics when IV is equal to 0. If the supply voltage is increased from 0, a point is reached, say point A, where the SCR starts conducting. And when SCR starts conducting, you will be getting the voltage across the SCR suddenly dropping to a dotted line, and then it will be staying there at particular value. So the value is 0.7. If proper gate current is made to flow, the SCR can close and at a much smaller applied voltage. Reverse characteristics. When anode is negative with respect to cathode, the curve between Vi is known as reverse characteristics. Negative voltage, whatever is there across the SCR, it will be applied using the AC supply. So if the reverse voltage is gradually increased at first the anode current remains small, and after the reverse breakdown voltage, the avalanche breakdown occurs and the SCR starts conducting heavily in the reverse direction as shown by the curve. So the maximum voltage at the SCR happens when we have your VBR reaching. Okay. So this is the application of SCR. Application of SCR is one which is RC half wave circuitry. In this RC half wave circuitry, what happens is we have applied a transformer with Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t, and I use a resistor and a capacitor. And I use two diodes, one is D1 and the other is D2, and this is the this is the SCR what is connected. So the voltage across this is VT, voltage across the load is V0. So initially what happens here is, during the positive half cycle, this is positive and this is negative. Assume that this is a secondary of the transformer. So this is positive and this is negative. Because of which what happens is, the voltage applied here will make the current to flow through this. So initially the current flows through this and it flows through this resistance and then the capacitance. Whenever the current flows through the capacitance, the capacitor starts charging. So the voltage across the capacitor goes on charging. So the the current cannot flow through this because this is positive terminal and this is negative. So this diode D2 is reverse biased. And it will make your SCR in the forward bias condition, that is plus is applied to positive is applied to anode and negative is applied to cathode. And you note that this gate terminal should have a small gate current, only then SCR starts to turn on. Initially, you will not be having your D2 turned on as well as your transistor T1 or SCR T1. So then what happens? So the current will flow through this and the capacitor goes on charging. So the capacitor charges to the maximum. Once it charges to the maximum, it has to discharge. So now it cannot discharge through this terminal, right? When it wants to discharge, it has to be discharging via this diode. When the capacitor discharges through the diode, then what happens is whenever the voltage across the diode what is applied, if it is more than the breakdown voltage of the diode, then it conducts. Okay, so the capacitor discharges and the diode conducts. Whenever the diode conducts, we know that it generates or it allows the current to flow through it. The current what is passed through the diode acts as a gate current, and because of that gate current, your SCR turns on, and we will be getting it in the on condition. Okay, so then what happens is the SCR is turned on, only then you will be getting a load voltage. Till then we will not be having any load voltage across the load voltage or output voltage across the load, whereas the applied input voltage across the thyristor remains the same. This is one scenario, and the next scenario is, one second. Next scenario is, I'll just revert this so that the direction of the current and the voltage can be seen. Okay, so when I reverse this polarity, then what happens is the negative voltage is applied to this diode, so it is forward biased, and this thyristor it is reverse biased. So because of which what happens is the current whatever is flowing, the current will flow through here. The current will flow through here. This is reverse biased. So the current whatever is there, that will should be flowing through this particular diode. So whenever we have it like this, then what happens is the capacitor charges with the opposite polarity. Now the voltage across this will be, it is flowing through this, say this diode D2, and then through this, and then this capacitor. So the capacitor voltage goes on incrementing, and it will be changing with respect to the applied input voltage. So then what happens? During that negative time, you will not be having your SCR in the on condition, and it will be kept as it is, or it is kept in the off condition. So because of which your output voltage, load voltage or output voltage what we have, that will be equal to 0, and applied input voltage across this will be your negative input voltage as it is. So here we have the output waveform. So what happens is this is the input voltage Vin, and with a half wave RC rectifier, we will be getting the rectification up to 180 degree, because the thyristor conducts from 0 to 180 degree. In the negative half cycle, what happens? SCR is remaining off, so you cannot control your output voltage here. So at what particular angle you apply the gate signal, that is what is called as firing angle. This is the firing angle pulses. Okay, this is small VG voltages, because of which IG will be applied. So this is a load voltage and this is a voltage across the SCR. When I apply the firing angle, till then what happens is your output voltage will not be appearing. Output voltage remains in the zero condition, and when I have the SCR triggering with the application of IG, your SCR turns on. Once the SCR turns on, whatever is my Vin, that appears across the V0. So this is output voltage. Then what happens is across SCR, I'll be having the input voltage. So till SCR conducts, it will be having the input voltage, and once it conducts, it acts as a short circuit. So the output voltage across it is 0. In the negative half cycle, what happens is SCR is off, so no voltage across the load, and we will be having the negative half cycle appearing across your SCR as it is. So this is what is the output waveform for a RC half wave control rectifier, and it will make it in a sense that we can control the firing angle. If I keep this firing angle here, I'll be getting only this portion of the output waveform appearing in the output side. So likewise, I can control from 0 to pi, that is 0 to 180 degree for a RC half wave rectifier. So this is what is RC half wave rectifier or phase control application of a So we have seen this particular explanation, and by changing the value of R, we can have a different change in the, yes. Sir. We can have the change in the application, and we can be generating a output waveform. So once the output waveform is generated, it can be used for controlling the phase application. So in the today's lecture, we have learned about the two transistor model of SCR, characteristics of SCR, and also the phase control application of SCR. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, thank you.